So I made the decision, as hard as it was, to go into this blindly, to go and ask for help. Like, I'm not one to ask for help. I have to do everything, not by myself, but work for it. Like, when the first night we were here, one of the ladies sent my son down with like a gallon of milk and a box of cereal, and it just made me break down and cry, not because it was a bad thing, but because somebody's willing to help you. And that to me is like important. Like, I love to help people, but to receive that back, it's totally different on the receiving end, because you know now that there's people out there, good people, that are willing to help you, and you don't expect this to happen to you. But now that I'm here, I'm not ashamed of where I live, where I'm staying now, where my kids lay their head at night and eat dinner. Not worrying about where he's gonna sleep, where his next meal is gonna come from. I think I just, with both of them, just wanted them to be happy and live like normal 7 and 12-year-old boys, and not have to take on the worries of myself or other adults. But I noticed that even though you try to shield them from it, they always know what is going on to one extent to another.
And I'm sitting here like, what? I mean, you got a kid, there's a kid, and you're gonna kick the kid out into the blistering cold with no one to help. I was just shocked, sad, and scared that I didn't know what was gonna happen next. Well, my dad got laid off 3 years ago. Ever since then, he kept finding jobs, but they didn't like him or his age, so they just didn't want him. So ever since then, he's been collecting cans to give us money for food. He goes to dumpsters, checks on sidewalks, goes to different dumpsters in different towns. I just kind of felt a little like I'm poor, because most people don't really do that.
You know, I do my best to learn because I want a good future to me and my daughter. So the first time I'm going to the church with Carla, we're so scared because I don't know about the people live with me together there. Was so hard.
What I can say about Yvonne's parenting is that it's phenomenal. I think she's a wonderful mom, especially being a teen mother. She goes on and beyond for her daughter. Since she got into the shelter, her daughter was always well dressed, always smelled like powder and all good senses. Always had her hair done. She was always so caring and like tender towards her, so loving. It was just so beautiful, like how she, that was like her everything, her love. She like lived for that little child.
Emmaus, they good person. Like, I can graduate because my English not good. The MCAS are difficult. They say no, you can do it. You can learn English. You can have an apartment, but you have to do your best. I do it, and I'm going to do more for my daughter. Yeah. I don't know.
I never dreamed I'd be homeless, and I had good average childhood, good job. I was married with house and boats and everything, and I worked on defense electronics. Over the years, I developed a lot of health problems, and things happened. My parents both died within a 5-year period. I got divorced, and I ended up losing the job till I became homeless. And then you realize with no money, no insurance, you can't get medical help. And with all my medical problems, that was a big thing. My health was failing rapidly. There's a lot of doctors that won't see you if you're homeless. The hospital social workers had found Emmaus so that I didn't have to go live in the woods, because they kept asking me, where are you going to live? And I says, in a tent in the woods, because that's all I knew.
I'm a case manager at the Emmaus Family Shelter, and I work with predominantly mothers, but parents with children who have ended up homeless. And what we try to do is get them on track for finding employment if they don't have any, and looking for apartments. Yeah, I think every family that comes into Emmaus comes in pretty frightened. They're coming into a shelter. They don't know what to expect. They don't know what the rooms are going to look like. They don't know what the other families are going to be like. And then they realize it's a clean, safe place. Get some training, and get an apartment and move out with their child. A lot of the families we have don't have the support systems that keep them out of shelters. Don't have a mother, don't have parents they can go and stay with. Families are desperate. You end up in shelter, you're in pretty desperate straits.
I've been volunteering at Emmaus for 7 or 8 years, and I can't ever picture not doing it, because how many things can you do where you feel like a rock star? I think what surprised me that I could have been one of those people. You never know what can happen in life. We had people who were middle class and just had hard times, and they ended up at the shelter. You don't realize people can be so judgmental about the homeless, but it can happen to anyone who doesn't have a support system. One of the things I've really noticed about the staff at Emmaus is how much they treat every single guest with respect. They never look down on them, and they never think, oh, that's just a homeless person, I don't care. And little acts of kindness mean so much to them. Doing something simple like playing catch, one boy told me one day, that's the most fun I've ever had. We were throwing a ball back and forth. It shouldn't matter whether somebody's homeless, whether they're rich. People are people, and they all have the same qualities. And you find kindness anywhere, and I've seen so much kindness at the shelter.